Hi, Kate Levens. Today we are doing disposal of fixed assets. This is one of the big topics that you'll also do in grade 12. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the lesson. Lesson outcomes that you have to master for this lesson are as follows. Know what we mean by asset disposal. Know different ways a business can dispose of these fixed assets, and know why a business will dispose of its fixed assets. You'll also have to know how to prepare different ledger accounts pertaining to asset disposal. So, what do we mean by asset disposal? You'll remember that a business has different fixed assets. They include, among others, land and buildings, vehicles, and equipment. So there comes a time when a business no longer needs these fixed assets, and that's where asset disposal comes in. So what do we mean by asset disposal? It's when a business decides to do away with or sell its fixed assets. So how can a business dispose of its fixed assets? There are many ways. Let's find out. The first one is a donation. Here, a business may decide to give away one of its fixed assets to one of the community organizations that it has a long-standing relationship with. This will not only benefit the business, but the community as well. How will the business benefit? It will benefit in terms of their improved public image. The community may even want to support the business further. As such, the profits will skyrocket. The second method we have is selling your fixed assets for cash. Here you'll see that I have bank in brackets to indicate that the bank as one of the accounts will be affected together with asset disposal. And then the third method will be selling your assets on credit. Here, debtors control account will be affected. There's also trade-in. So what is a trade-in? A trade-in is when a business gives away its old fixed asset to the car dealership in exchange for a new one. So the business in return will be given some cash, but it will not be more than the value of the new fixed asset. Because you still owe your car dealership money, the account you'll open is creditors control. Last but not least is drawings. Instead of a donation, selling the assets for cash or on credit, the owner may decide to keep this to himself or herself, hence drawings. So, what are some of the reasons that a business will want to dispose of its fixed assets? Number one, technological development. There may be features you want your fixed assets to have, especially your vehicles and equipment that the old ones don't have. So it only makes sense to upgrade in order to maintain your comparative advantage in the market. The second reason is because your vehicles, your equipment are old. So here we are talking useful life. What is a useful life? A useful life is the number of years the asset can be used for. You may also want to improve the working capital in the business to pay off your suppliers or creditors, even employees. So selling off your fixed assets will only make an economic sense. Then we have unforeseen circumstances such as theft. That's why it's so important to insure your fixed assets against these unforeseen circumstances, which may also include natural disasters or damage to your fixed assets. We cannot do double entry principle without mastering the rules thereof. So, to help you master the double entry rule, here's the abbreviation you can use. The D stands for drawings, E stands for expenses, A stands for assets. Then we have on the other side C, which stands for capital, I for income, and L for liabilities. So the first three letters increase on the debit side, and the last three increase on the credit side. And when they increase on the credit side, they decrease on the debit side. And all in all, we call it diesel. So remember diesel. Then let's go to the next slide. There you can see drawings on the debit side as well as assets and expenses. And the credit side there, they decrease. So what do we mean when we say they increase and decrease? It means when the owner takes something from the business for personal use, you will record that transaction on the debit side. The same with assets. When you buy new assets, they will be recorded on the debit side because they have increased. You have now more. And when you pay more expenses, they will be recorded on the debit side. Then we have seal. Seal will increase on the credit side. So what do we mean by credit side? It means when the owner contributes more capital to the business, that amount will be recorded on the credit side.